For as long as there have been gaming laptops, there have been budget-friendly gaming laptops. Equipped with low-power cards, plastic chassis, and 1080p panels, these systems target the sub-$1,000 market by cutting corners wherever possible. As our Origin EON15's review demonstrates, more energy-efficient GPU options have helped raise performance at this price point, while leaving some unfinished edges. Not that anything is fatally wrong on paper. The EON15s boasts an Intel Core i7-7700HQ, 8GB of RAM, a GTX 1050 Ti, and a Samsung 960 EVO solid-state drive with a 1TB data drive. This setup will cost you about $1,360. That makes our review unit affordable, but far from the least expensive around. Does it meet the definition of budget-friendly, or are there better laptops waiting in the wings? Just like every other laptop, Origin's desktops come in a variety of custom and off-the-shelf enclosures, but its laptops are often built in a mass-produced Clevo chassis, and the EON15s is no exception. It's called the N850HK1, and it doesn't feel particularly premium. It flexes dramatically, even on the keyboard and lower chassis, where it should hold firm. The screen has a lot of bend to it, which can be concerning, as the hinge for the screen doesn't seem like it would hold up to any amount of abuse. It even makes a scratching noise at its most extended. The Acer Predator 15, on the other hand, offers a sturdy construction without bends or panel gaps to speak of. Off-the-shelf laptop makers aren't necessarily interested in longevity, and it's an area where big brands like Lenovo and Dell can afford to spend time and money researching improvements. That's not always the case, as the Dell Inspiron 7567 has similar issues with bending, but they aren't nearly as dramatic. Origin's branding is minimal, with a logo on the back shell, and the brand name under the screen. Normally that would have been a positive note, but with so many machines available in the same chassis with the same parts, it had the opposite effect. The system doesn't feel unique. We like Origin's design and customization, when it has chance to wield its talents. Unfortunately, this chassis didn't provide the company opportunity to spice up the EON15s. Squeezing in ports. Despite its compact footprint, the Origin EON15s features plenty of wired connections. The left side carries a USB 3.1 Type-C port, a USB 3.0 Type-A, HDMI, 2 mini DisplayPort outputs, and an Ethernet connection. On the right side, Origin has added dedicated 3.5mm audio in and out, plus another USB 3.0, and a USB 2.0 port, for a mouse. That's above average for a gaming laptop as thin as this, and part of that is thanks to the odd angle on the machine's sides. Instead of flat, or rounded, sides on the laptop, the left and right panels cut in at a sharp angle towards the bottom of the laptop. The ports sit outward at a 90-degree angle, so each one has a plastic housing that juts out from the angled side pieces. It's not an attractive way to make sure you get all the ports you want, but it's certainly efficient. A nod keyboard. The Origin EON15s had a full keyboard layout with a numpad, an increasingly common feature on gaming laptops. The keys had deep travel and solid tactile feedback, without much noise at all. That's a good balance for a system that's meant for gaming, but may end up in the library as well. There are 4 RGB lighting zones, and the light comes through the symbols on the keys as much as it splays out from the edges. It's bright, but isn't the neatest arrangement. That said, there's something off about the EON15's keyboard. The keys seem to be just slightly less wide than they are tall, and we found ourselves mistyping quite a bit while using the system. That's the cost of fitting a numpad on a 15-inch system, and it's something users will just have to get used to. On the other hand, the Acer Predator 15 has a great keyboard and good touchpad, without sacrificing elsewhere. Dell claims an equal honor with the Inspiron 7567, which sport input devices that compete with the best laptops out there. It's certainly not a necessity, but it's hard to argue there isn't value lost when the competitors are on top of their game. The touchpad is spacious and welcoming, a feature that benefits Windows 10 touch gestures. There are two distinct clicking buttons at the bottom, with a fingerprint sensor sitting in between. It doesn't work very well, but that's not Origin's fault. We've only come across one Windows fingerprint scanner that's sharp enough to work consistently. On the Huawei Book X, every other option has proven as finicky as the Origin's. Easy on the eyes. The EON15S is only available with a 1080p screen, the right resolution choice for a budget-friendly gaming laptop. We used a Datacolor Spider 5 to measure the screen's potential in a totally objective sense, and liked what we found. While the screen's stats aren't exactly groundbreaking, it's more than capable enough for our tastes. Contrast was a strong point, coming within spitting distance of the Dell XPS 15 and Lenovo Yoga 720's measurements. Those are some of the highest contrast screens we've tested,